I play the game. To be the best, you have to win. And that's what drives me.
What's up, family? Today's a special day. Today's a day we celebrate the man who changed and inspired my life and the lives of millions of people around the whole world. His name is Kobe Bryant. Today I'm here to give you guys a special tribute. 10 lessons that inspired my life forever and transformed it, to tell you the truth. Because Kobe was more than a basketball player to me. He was my hero. He was someone that I look up to and get motivated by his sheer will, his talent, his gifts, but most importantly, his mentality. He always found a way to push past the extreme obstacles. Made no excuse. He always found a way to get it done. So, today we're gonna sit back, relax, and enjoy 10 lessons that changed my life forever. The first lesson I learned from Kobe Bryant is this: to be great, you have to make sacrifices.
There's a choice we have to make as people, as individuals. If you want to be great at something, you have to make inherent sacrifices that come along with that. Family time, hanging out with your friends. So at the age of 18, I knew that I was not going to be stopped. This was my life. We all can be masters at our craft, but you have to make sacrifices that come along with making that decision.
Grew up in our sports together, and I know the sacrifices that went along with standing here today. And we're not on this stage just because of talent or ability. We're up here because of 4 a.m. We're up here because of 2-a-days or 5-a-days. We're up here because we had a dream and let nothing stand in our way. If anything tried to bring us down, we used it to make us stronger.
The second lesson I learned from Kobe Bryant is this: always keep your dreams pure. Always.
I just dream. I dream. I have dreams, and dreams is they should be pure. And I think a lot of times, when we're born into this world, we actually wind up going backwards. And it seems like the more we mature, the more responsible our dreams become, and the more governors we put on ourselves and our ability to dream and to reimagine. And it's always a fight for us parents and for you guys to make sure that your dreams always stay pure. And so it's not a matter of pushing beyond your limitations or expectations. It's really a matter of protecting your dreams, protecting your imagination. That's really the key. And when you do that, then the world just seems limitless.
Well, man, because I think the greatest fear that we face is ourselves, actually. It's not anything that's external or anything that's superficial. I think the greatest fear you face is yourself, because we all have dreams, and it's very scary sometimes to accept the dream that you have, and it's scarier still to say, okay, I want that. It's scary because you're afraid that if you put your heart and soul into it and you fail, then how are you going to feel about yourself, right? So being fearless means putting yourself out there and going for it. No matter what, go for it. Not for anybody else, but for yourself.
The most important thing, I think, for players that come after me is you don't want to ever limit your imagination, because people may think you're crazy, but if us as athletes don't think that it's possible to do these things, how in the world can we inspire people?
The third lesson I learned from Kobe Bryant is this: follow your passion. Always do what's true to you. Kobe.
Follow your passion first. First. When I retired from the game, I sat there asking kind of all the wrong questions. What's the biggest industry I can get into? And it's all the wrong stuff. Then you got to sit there and ask yourself, okay, what am I truly passionate about? What do I enjoy doing? And when you feel that way, honestly, you feel like you've never worked a day in your life. It's the most fun thing in the world. You get up in the morning excited about what you're doing. And you got to be really honest with yourself about it. If you wake up in the morning and you're dreading going to work, dude, do something else. Do something else. And those are hard decisions to make, but when you make those decisions, it's a very liberating experience, and you find out that the rewards will come.
Basketball never felt like work to me. And once I came to the NBA and I looked around, I saw other guys that weren't working as much as I was, then I started to understand that, you know, how I went about it is hard work. To me, it was just, I just love what I do, so I want to do it as much as possible.
Passion. People have to be lucky to find passion in life.
Yeah, you do. And if you're really lucky, you find it at an early age.
Woo! What's up, y'all? It is 6 in the morning right now, and I'm grinding. Gotta learn from the best, Kobe Bryant, which leads me to my fourth lesson, which is outwork everybody. Outwork them. You put in that work every single day, they can't touch you.
Okay, so if your job is to try to be the best basketball player you can be, right? To do that, you have to practice, you have to train, right? You want to train as much as you can, as often as you can. So if you get up at 10 in the morning, train at 11, right? 12, say 12, train at 12, train for 2 hours, 12 to 2. You have to let your body recover, so you eat, recover, whatever. You get back out, you train, start training again at 6. Train from 6 to 8. Right? And now you go home, you shower, you eat dinner, you go to bed, you wake up, you do it again, right? Those are 2 sessions. Right? Now imagine you wake up at 3, you train at 4. You go 4 to 6, come home, breakfast, relax, blah, blah, blah. Now you're back at it again, 9 to 11, right? You relax, and now all of a sudden you're back at it again, 2 to 4, and now you're back at it again, 7 to 9. Look how much more training I have done by simply starting at 4, right? And so now you do that, and as the years go on, the separation that you have with your competitors and your peers just grows larger and larger and larger and larger and larger. And by year 5 or 6, doesn't matter what kind of work they do in the summer, they're never going to catch up because they're 5 years behind. Right? So it makes sense to get up and start your day early because you can get more work in.
If I could work that hard every day, with being blessed with the physical tools that I have, what would my career be? And I made a promise to myself from that day that I was going to work that hard every single day so that when I do retire, I have no regrets. And that was the most important thing for me, is to leave no stone unturned, get better every single day. And if I lived that way, then over time, I'd have something that was beautiful. But that was my philosophy. It seems like a pretty simple one, but if you live your life to just get better every single day, and do that for 20 years, what do you have?
The 5th lesson is study the greats and become greater. This book is good.
What player in your career did you learn the most from?
Oh, Michael.
Michael.
For sure.
Even though you never played together?
For sure.
Wow. Does he give you advice?
Yeah, he does actually, yeah.
Good advice?
Great advice. I'll never ever say that. Him and Magic and those guys, and Michael in particular, is really giving me phenomenal advice in how to take a team, particularly with the personalities that that we have, and how to better communicate with your teammates, how to better elevate your teammates. I learned a lot this camp. A lot about how technically sound Michael was. Because it's one thing in watching him play, and then it's another thing in playing against him.
He's now in a postgraduate course.
Yeah, boy. Accelerated learning.
His technique was flawless. I wanted to make sure my technique was just as flawless.
Been down a half court, and he wanted to know how, when I turn around on my jump shot, how to feel the defense. I told him you should feel the defense with your legs. Once you feel the defense with your legs, you can take advantage of that.
That was very inspiring for me.
Now for the 6th lesson. Don't be afraid of confrontation. A lot of people are so scared to be uncomfortable. They rather settle for less and not do what's really true to who they are. Something you don't like, speak up, talk about it.
I'm not going to be afraid of confrontation to get us to where we need to go. I think there's a big misconception where people think winning or success comes from everybody putting their arms around each other and singing kumbaya and patting them on the back when they mess up, and that's just not reality. If you're going to be a leader, you're not going to please everybody, and you got to hold people accountable, even if you have that moment of being uncomfortable.
Matter of fact, get your hands off me. Don't touch me the rest of the scrimmage. Get your hands off me.
I always compare it to sitting across from somebody at a dinner table. If we're sitting across from each other, and would you rather sit with a person that's going to be afraid to tell you have something in between your teeth and let you walk around a restaurant smiling and stuff like that when you got stuff in between your teeth? Or would you rather sit with somebody that's not afraid to have that moment of being uncomfortable to tell you you have something in your teeth so you can get it out and don't look like an idiot in front of everybody else? Right? I'm gonna tell you have something in your teeth.
No matter what, even if it hurts my feelings.
I'm gonna tell you have something in your teeth. I'm gonna tell you. And then it's your choice if you wanna get it out or you just wanna leave it there and look like an idiot.
So your leadership, it's not personal. It's just about getting where everybody needs to go as a group.
It's not about you personally. It's about the action, right? And so when you're able to separate the two and look at that and put your own ego or personal emotions aside, then we can get somewhere.
Put it back, son. You got your face.
Whew. Let's go, come on. My 7th lesson is push through the pain. This shit hurt, but I'm pushing. Let's go.
I remember being a kid and going to games, expecting to see the players play. It never occurred to me at the time that they might be tired, they might be sore, they might be sick. It never occurred to me. I just wanted to see them do what they do. I think about that. Doesn't matter if I'm sick. It doesn't matter if I have a sprained ankle. The kid that's sitting in there might be the next me sitting up there, watching and trying to get inspiration from that. I need to go out there and play.
Oh, that's great defense there by Kobe. We're talking about at 36 years old, 19.
What I've learned is to always keep going, always. You know, there's been times, particularly early in my career, where it just feels like this is the end. But what I've come to find out is that, you know, no matter what happens, the storm eventually ends. And when the storm does end, you want to make sure that you're ready. And so I've really learned to put one foot in front of the other, good, bad, or indifferent, because eventually that storm passes.
Can you assess exactly what went wrong? Was it too many injuries? Was it Shaq's foot at the beginning of the year? Can you begin to assess why you lost this series?
Nah, I mean, you know, we have a million and one excuses that we could go to. Fact of the matter is, we're not going to make any. They played better than we did in this series. We had our opportunities to win it. Didn't go for us. You know, so we just have to regroup. Like I said, next season starts right now, and you know, come back next season ready to play.
How much harder will you work in this offseason now to get back to the championship?
I'll push myself to exhaustion.
My 8th lesson that I learned from Kobe Bryant is this: have the Mamba mentality. What is the Mamba mentality? Well, Kobe, you explain it.
What is Mamba mentality? It's a lot of things, but I think most importantly, it starts from emotion. Mamba mentality is first being self-aware of things that happen within your life that you can then use as fuel to propel you forward. And it starts from that foundation. And then from that foundation, it's this constant search for answers and this constant search to try to get better, because it's a way of life. I want more. I want more. I want to learn more. Where can I learn more? Where can I look? You know? I want more. I want to learn this thing some more. There's got to be another level. You know? It's the curiosity. I think the curiosity is the most important thing. I mean, it's you know, it sounds really weird to say, but you mean like leadership lessons. You know, I learned leadership lessons just from walking in the park and just observing nature and the sun's relationship with nature and relationship with the moon and the sun understanding when to be present and when to go away, right? Because as a teammate, it was like, dude,
the sun's out all damn long, you're gonna sunburn a hell of a lot of people, right? So if I'm playing this game and I'm on top of my guys for 48 minutes, dude, you're gonna sunburn every single teammate there, right? So there's certain times where it's important for the sun to be present, there's other times it needs to go away, right? And but there are life lessons that surround us at all times, and I've always been extremely, extremely curious about those things.
You know, the idea is a very simple one, and you know, the Mamba mentality simply means trying to be the best version of yourself. That's what the mentality means. It means every day, you know, you're trying to become better, and it's a constant quest. It's an infinite quest. So starting at the age of 2, when I first started playing the game, and on and on and on, I always ask questions. I always try to get better every single day, learn more, learn more.
You were asking questions at 2?
Oh, dude, I was asking questions all the time. I mean, you'd be surprised. Like some people, like my kids at 2 could do a lot of things. Right? At 2, I could dribble a basketball. I could shoot a basketball on the Nerf hoop at the house, and I would go to practice with my father. I would observe my father. I'd sit and watch games with him.
The 9th lesson I learned from Kobe Bryant is this: don't fear failure, because failure doesn't exist.
How did you become one of those people who doesn't seem to be afraid of failing?
It doesn't exist. It's not existent. What the hell does that mean? Seriously, what does failure mean? It's not. It doesn't exist. It's a figment of your imagination. What does it mean?
You're pulling a Jedi mind trick on me right now. I was like, does it exist?
No, I'm serious. Like, I'm trying to think, like, how can I explain it? So, let's use happy endings, right? And then we can relate this to failure and why it's not existent. Like, you know, everybody talks about, like, everybody wants a happy ending, right? Now let's go to the reality of it, right? Let's look at a fairy tale story. Let's look at Snow White. She gets a happy ending. She finds Prince, whatever, she goes on. She lives happily ever after. Well, I call bullshit on that, because 2 months later, the fact is they had an argument and he's sleeping on the couch. Right? So the point is, the story continues. The story continues. So if you fail on Monday, the only way it's a failure on Monday is if you decide to not progress from that, right? So to me, that's why failure is not existent. Because, you know, if I fail today, okay, I'm going to learn something from that failure, and I'm going to try again on Tuesday. And I fail, and I'm going to try again on Wednesday. So it doesn't exist.
My 10th and final lesson I learned from Kobe Bryant is this: leave your legacy. We all on this earth for a purpose and for a reason. Make sure it's not selfish. Make sure your purpose is here to better humanity and also better the world. And that's what I learned from Kobe Bryant the most. When I first started comedy, I wanted to be the most famous person in the world, and I realized that's futile, that's fleeting. Fame is nothing. What's important is how you impacted somebody's life. Leave your legacy.
Once upon a time, there was a young basketball player who had dreams of becoming one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
My name is Kobe Bryant. I'm 17 years old, with the hunger, the motivation, and the desire to be the best possible basketball player that I could be.
You worked day and night, every day, for years and years and years and years and years. And as time went on, 20 years had passed, and he felt that he had accomplished all that he set out to accomplish. But what he come to realize is that the goal that he set out initially of becoming the greatest of all time was a very fickle one. And what he realized that the most important thing in life is how your career moves and touches those around you, and how it carries forward to the next generation. But he realized that's what makes true greatness. The story would be about transformation of a kid looking inwardly to then growing up and understanding the importance and the power is looking outward.
It's a great feeling to know that you set a goal for yourself and you were able to reach that goal and to knock it down.
If I had the power to turn back time, I would never use it. I don't think about it. because then every moment that you go through means absolutely nothing, but you can always go back and do it again. So it loses its flavor, it loses its beauty. When things are final, you know, moments won't ever come again. To be able to have the power to go back and re-experience those things it's silly to me.
When you take that jersey off for the final time, how do you think you're gonna feel?
Very at peace with it, and I'm very thankful, you know, for the 20 years that I've had, and you know, ready to go.
When you make a choice and say, come hell or high water, I'm going to be this, then you should not be surprised when you are that.
Man, I gave my soul to this game. There's nothing more I could give. Nothing. But I'm telling you, it goes by fast. And if you don't give it your all, you're going to regret it.
I love what I do. And it's as simple as that.
What does love feel like for you?
What does love feel like? I think I describe it as a beautiful journey. You know, it has its ups and downs. Things are never perfect, but through love, you continue to persevere. And you move through them, you move through them. Through that storm, beautiful sun emerges. Right? And inevitably another storm comes, and guess what? You ride that one out too. So I think love is a certain determination and persistence to go through the good times and the bad times with the someone or something that you truly love.
You guys know that, you know, if you do the work, you work hard enough, dreams come true. You know that, we all know that. But hopefully what you get is the understanding that those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream. That's the dream. It's not the destination, it's the journey.
Every kid, every person has the ability to put one foot in front of the other, right? So like if you're saying, okay, I'm gonna climb Mount Everest, and you're at the bottom of the mountain and you look up and you're going, I'm not gonna climb Mount Everest, right? But if you break it down into sections, and you just one foot in front of the other, one step at a time, next thing you know, you're at the top of the mountain. It's like as a kid, I said, I wanna be the best ever, right? And now you go through your life and everything you do is try to be the best ever, be the best ever, be the best ever. And as you get older, you start understanding that those things are very superficial things, right? And everybody has a different opinion about it. No matter what you do, I can win 20 championships. There's always an opinion on who's the best. Everybody has different opinions. And so I started really kind of understanding, maybe that's not the important thing. Maybe the important thing is to, you know, how do we as a team grow? How do I help my teammates be better? So that was the first change for me. And then as I got older still, it became more about how are you inspiring others, right, to find themselves. That is the ultimate championship. How do you use your passion and use that to inspire somebody else to create their passion? And then how can they pass that on to the next person? That is true success.
And I sincerely appreciate it. No words can describe how I feel about you guys. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. God, I love you guys. What can I say? Mamba out.